Thanks so much, Rosa, and good afternoon, everybody. It's really great to be back. I haven't been in this meeting for a long time, very busy with other things, so I'm actually really very happy to report back. Now, I have actually two mini campaigns to introduce, but I first of all I realize we are running late. We have actually trying to have save time, and I have the two campaigns. One is on shortages. You can look at this in the presentation, but the other is on biosimilars. Incidentally, so I would actually suggest, if that's okay, and Rumya, if you would be so good to move immediately to, I think, page 6 of the presentation. And you see, it's not only external visitors have problems with this speaker system. Me as well. I should say just very quickly what expects you in this presentation. So I quickly run you through our biosimilar interchangeability campaign, so that we ran at the occasion of the statement. Then I would like actually to have a bit of an exchange with you, whether there is interest for joint campaigning. And then I'd like to target it immediately, because a big campaign might be coming up, and that's European Immunization Week, end of April. So, and without further ado, I now quickly jump into the campaign, the mini campaign we did around the biosimilar interchangeability statement. So clearly we had a brief, and that was raise awareness for the formalized CHMP position that biosimilars can be interchanged. And then what you see in gray is kind of maybe that's more the things we discussed here, right? This reinforce attitudes to biosimilars as high quality alternatives, support changes in GPs prescribing behavior. But to be honest, we thought these are way out of our league, and they need to be, they need to be tackled. But I think at that stage we were not the ones to do that. So for us, mainly raise awareness for formalized CHMP campaign, formalized CHMP position. Can I have the next slide? So this is what we did. You have seen the statement. We published web updates. We had a news item. We had a so-called slider, so you could see it immediately when you go to our webpage. We had social media, so we had a LinkedIn post. We had something on Ima Cook's influencer LinkedIn channel. We posted on Twitter, and we posted on Instagram. And also, this was a comms package that we shared with our colleagues in the national competent authorities. And we also shared it at the time with you, the PCWP and the Healthcare Professional Working Party. So next slide, please. These are the materials we produced at the time. So basically, the approach was we went into the statement and really picked up the high-level messages. So we had this info sheet on the left-hand side, where we kind of wanted to express that we have really long experience now with biosimilars. There are 86 so far authorized or were approved at the time in the EU, that we also have a lot of safety data. And taking this together, there is confidence in these products. And then we also had this, I've now just, here you see 6 different pictures, but we used them as a so-called carousel. So we posted it so that you can actually slide through on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and on Instagram. We had actually, especially on LinkedIn, which is of course the channel where we reach most professionals, we had really good uptake. We had over 150,000 views. We had 2,500 likes, over 2,000 clicks. People looked at more information. We had 30 comments, which meant that it generated some discussion. And also had actually very good feedback on LinkedIn. I have to say, we had much more limited impact on Twitter, which is to be expected, and also more limited impact on Instagram, which has also to do with our followership on Instagram is much smaller. So nothing unusual here. But anyway, among the professional community on LinkedIn, it did really well. Can I have the next slide, please? Yeah. So that's the example, and I just really also wanted to run a bit through what our our organic campaigning capacity is now. So what can we actually do with our various channels that we serve? So right now we have a press distribution list of 1,000 journalists. Um, I wish I could now give you a complete breakdown in terms of geography, but I can't. I hope I can do that at a later stage. I mean, still very much English speaking, but it's a good spread across the EU, nevertheless. And we have a very specific accreditation list. So these are people who we would actually invite for press events of 450 people who have expressly said they want to be on this accreditation list. We have a YouTube channel with 17,500 subscribers. Our LinkedIn channel had, as of a week ago, about 117,000 subscribers. On LinkedIn, we have 250,000 followers. We have Emma Cook's influencer account, which actually always really is a fairly powerful tool because she gets really reshared a lot. And then we run a joint Instagram account. It's called One Health NVEU, and we run that together with our partner agencies from ECDC, EFSA, and on that one we have about 8,200 followers. So next slide, please. Now, this is, to be honest, this is something we find out all the time. It's a very cheesy proverb from the internet, but I think it actually really applies so perfectly to campaigns. If you want to travel fast, go alone. What we've done, for example, with the biosimilar campaign. But if you want to travel far, if you really want to get out there, we need to do it together. So that's kind of, I should have started with this because honestly, that is actually the starting point of my presentation today. I think we need to, if we want to have any impact, real impact, then we need to do more joint campaign planning. Rumia, could I have the next slide? So, for example, so really starting point is it would be great to understand each other's needs and limitations for joint campaigns because, it's kind of, everybody has that there are things that we can do to help you disseminate information, but I think there's also things we need to explain how we can do things, what we can put in place, etc. But I mean, overall, if we could come for certain topics, joint message development, a joint dissemination plan, coordinated posting, amplification of each other's messages, and then also learn together from these campaigns and implement them for a next iteration. I think we could make a much bigger dent than what we can do on our own. So, not having, of course, heard already here, somebody put it in the ring, biosimilars is a possible campaign. But we know for sure there are two campaigns that are coming up this year. One is the European Immunization Week. That's going to take place from the 23rd to the 29th of April. And I have a little bit more info on this. And then the second campaign is European Antibiotic Awareness Day. Always takes place around the 18th of November. And every year we produce a lot of information. And every year it kind of, we disseminate it, but we don't really have oomph. So maybe we can go to the next slide. European Immunization Week. So I'm trying to convince you now. So European Immunization Week, as I said, takes place end of April. The objective this year is improve vaccine uptake, the routine vaccinations where we see where we see a drop in as a consequence of the COVID-19 pandemic, to improve vaccine uptake in the context of a global backslide in vaccination rates due to the COVID-19 pandemic. I can show you on the next slide what we have done last year. So we had this series of images where we kind of really focused on various diseases and the way how vaccines can contribute to them. We posted them at the time on, I think, Twitter, on LinkedIn, Instagram. We had a post from Emma Cook. We had, I think, we had something on our website. We had a short video statement from Emma. So we had a package, and we also joined, of course, others and reinforced each other. But taking it to the next step, I think we would actually be really, really interested to work with you on this campaign. I think also I've been around for long enough so that I still have very warm memories of a video we did with this group, with the PCWP and the Healthcare Professional Working Party, and I think it's still shown in the open areas, which I admit is outdated now, yes, but it was and still is really powerful. And so maybe going to the next slide. My question is really, is there interest here in this group in doing some joint campaigning in general? Is there in particular interest to join forces already for European Immunization Week? Now, I mean, I actually know this is kind of around the corner, I have to say. We have beginning of March, end of April is really close. So, I mean, if there is interest, I think we would actually have to start immediately. And then if there is generally interest, would you be interested to maybe have a small campaign planning group here, a small group that really discusses these campaigns, see what we can do together? And then would that group be interested to start with the European Immunization Week 2023? So open questions, over to you. Thank you.